I believe that people have tried the 101 thing and they have gotten hurt, whether, it just didn't work out or they got cheated on, and they feel like that's the best way as in to just be open about it. Um, which for me, I just feel that if it just didn't work, it was a lesson. Sometimes you have to go through people to learn lessons. It's like the seasons, how they talk about, everything has its season. It's one of those type of situations. Um, or if you got cheated on, it's like the same type of situation. There was something you had to learn from it, and maybe you didn't learn it, so you had to repeat it again and repeat it again. And for the ones who took it as far as to getting married, and then you had to get divorced. Once again, it was a lesson as into maybe it was a lesson, but for me, I would say that a lot of times why it don't work, why you get hurt, is because you're not going in on love. Not It's not based off of love. People get love and lust very confused. And infatuations. That's the main thing. People be infatuated by people, which confuses love. Um, or lust. They might confuse lust with love. Um, and then that's where a lot of the lessons have to get learned and the difference between those. Um, so I believe when you enter into a multiple relationship, you're entering into that off of something other than love. There is no way. When I think of multiple relationships, I think of it as just the basic before you even enter into a relationship or a marriage. The friendships. How I think about when I think about open relationship, people who have those, it's like, why do you call it an open relationship? It's like step A, which is just a friendship. Some people say friends with benefits. It's like you're one of those situations. Instead of trying to be committed to somebody or multiple people, it's like you're learning people, multiple people. Like that's what we're supposed to do before we take a leap and want to settle down with somebody, as into, you're my boyfriend or you're my girlfriend or you're my husband, you're my wife. For me, I believe the boyfriend and girlfriend situation is just, mm-mm. It's not that I'm too old for it. It's just like, once you take your time in learning somebody from a friendship, you should automatically jump to engagement and be engaged for a more longer time, as into you're dealing with them in a way you're dealing with them in step A, but you allowing them to know you want a commitment with just them. You're not given to others the way you're given to them, even though you kind of are, but you're not. Um, and then you get married. I believe those are steps you should go in, but a lot of times people be friends for a little bit and then they enter into a relationship and then they get engaged, and that be, a blink of an eye. Like literally, they be engaged for like a week and then they're married and then they be divorced within, 6 months or something. I think that's crazy. Um, and it's all because they didn't take the time in step A, which is learning that person. Um, Even when it comes to having fun with other people, I believe that's a temporary thing other than a multiple relationship situation. That's something that you learn this person, that I like to think about it as a raise. People eventually gonna want to raise. And so it's nice to be able to have fun with your partner and to explore with them, but I don't believe it's for the rest of thou's life. That just sounds crazy to me. Um, but I do believe that I heard it from somebody else before that I listened to, but I watch on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook. MJ, he's quite awesome, and he was talking about There's so many different words for these freaking relationships. It make no sense. But pretty much monogamy. That's what he was talking about. He was saying that he's one of them type of people, and he believed people who have open relationships that they have some emotional problems from the past that they have to work on. They're trying to cure it through other people. People have fantasies of, wanting to be with their daddy, wanting to be with their mommy. It's like a closure that they find in somebody else, which, once again, as I said before, it's like a mental abuse situation that people suppress. It seems like something that people are trained to do is to suppress how they really feel to make other people happy. And sometimes even they self, they're not truly being honest with their self for acceptance of other people. Like, even with me, how I said before, as into I thought about it just for the simple fact of I don't want to be lonely all the freaking time, or I have a child, but I don't plan on having any more kids no time soon. And it's like it'd be nice if he had other people to play with, because where I live at, there's not many kids that's his age, or at least there wasn't. They're becoming more now, but you know, for a while it was like just him. Like, geez, I wish you had somebody to play with. So the thought of entering into something that was so to entering into a contract that I didn't think through so clearly would have caused a lot of pain later on. Um, and that's just something that I think happens to a lot of other people. Um, and it's just something to think about. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. Um, what was I say? I have something else I want to say about NJ, but I can't think about it at the moment. Something he said. I think I shared it, but it just said so right. It was like a confirmation as into what I already was thinking and feeling. Like that's exactly what I feel. As into, as I said, it's like an emotional situation, like emotional mental abuse, which is the hardest thing to recognize. People can hide that in so many different ways, um, other than physical abuse. That emotional abuse it goes missed all the freaking time, and that's one that is displayed and seemed to be, highly praised. Definitely when it comes to guys think they're supposed to have multiple women, but for a female to want multiple guys, it's like the whole heaven fell down. It's like it's interesting to me when it comes to things like that. Um, Now, how I feel about it on the other side, I thought about it on the other side too. Wanting multiple guys just for the simple fact of, for me, it's a factuation situation of people wanting what they can't have, pretty much. Just all being somebody desire. That's pretty much what made me have that idea of doing that, was being desired by multiple people, but they really can't have me. I used to watch porn of like gangbangs and stuff, and I will watch the guys while, like, it'd be like 10 or 20 of those bad boys. House full of fun. Kind of joking, but seriously, house full of fun. But I would watch how the other guys who weren't in the action, like there would be, a guy, in the action or whatever with a girl, and there'd be guys like lined up waiting, and they be sitting there fondling themselves and watching. It's just like, what are they getting turned on? What is turning them on within that moment? Is it the guy or is it the female? Um, but the whole fact that they're still excited watching that, and then they even take their turn next. It's just like, it's not like they're disgusted by it. They infatuated by the situation, which most people would say, like, I'm turned on by a female, so But it's like I think it's that whole situation that turns them on, honestly. Um, and that just always caught my attention, as into the things that guys desire. is just pretty much to be a part of a situation that they know they can't have or are supposed to have. Um, and that just always interests me. Um, I guess that's what they say. What is forbidden, um, what is forbidden always seems to be funnelistic. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word, but I guess that's why the whole heavens fell. Ginger going and decided she wanted to get gang bang. But I'm satisfied nowadays. Like nowadays, I think totally different. Not saying that I always wanted it, but it's something that has crossed my mind. I would be lying if I said it never crossed my mind, but I I realized for me when I actually find love that I'm satisfied. When I'm unsatisfied, I go hunting. I used to be a very, very good hunter, which got me in a lot of situations, but that's something that I have learned about the mental part, why that mental part is so important and why it shouldn't be abused. Um, and that's just that.